And we are back. Welcome to day 3 of the last 16. After a day where, let's be honest, in both games, both of the favourites progressed in the end with relative ease. We have to, of course, start with the game between France and Poland, where in the first half, Poland showed so much more than we expected. I'm pleased that they did, because obviously we spoke yesterday about how poor they were against Argentina, but they gave it a really good go, especially in that first half against France, and how they didn't score that triple opportunity where Lloris was on the floor, half the defence was on the floor, and somehow, some way, almost like on a game of FIFA where the blocks were just coming in left, right and centre. I just don't know how Poland didn't score to grab that opening goal at such a crucial point in the game if they'd have managed to get it at that moment. And of course, we have to mention Olivier Giroud's open goal miss when we talk about all of those chances before France's goal, which of course did come from Olivier Giroud, which set the tone really for the rest of the game on that point onwards. Poland were then stretched, forcing themselves to try and get that equalising goal, and then the brilliance of Kylian Mbappe doing what he does best, terrorising defences and getting in on that right foot and scoring 2 absolutely phenomenal finishes. Roof of the net on both of them, or top corners on both of them. 2 absolutely outstanding finishes, and France easily through. I will touch on, of course, the penalty as well. How Lewandowski can get away with that, I don't know. I thought they'd stop this whole stop midway through your run-up thing. I felt so sorry for Lloris, who came off his line, but why wouldn't he come off his line? Lewandowski literally stopped midway through his shot animation. So, I say animation, shot routine. I've been playing too much FIFA. But yeah, I felt a bit sorry for Lloris. Of course, in the overall standings, it meant absolutely nothing. France progressed with a 3-1 win rather than a 3-0 win, and looked very ominous going into their quarter-final, where they will face England, who of course got the win last night. If you want to see my full reactions to that game, the link will be available in the description to last night's video, and of course will also be available for you at the end of today's video. But quick thoughts, really happy with the performance, happy with the 3-0 win, and of course England do get into the quarterfinals, where they will be playing France, and I think we could be in for an absolute scorcher of a game on Saturday evening. Let's see what those results did to the prediction series, and then look ahead to today's games, where I do think we could have an awful lot of drama. I know a lot of people aren't thinking so much, but again, we'll get to that when we get to it. Let's quickly run through what the results did, and then we'll get to it. So, these were the 2 game predictions I made for yesterday's games. These were the results, and as you can see, it is another 2 points for each game. 1 point for getting the correct result, and 1 point for accurately predicting that it would be France and England that progress to the next round. No real complaint about the scorelines. I'm of course thrilled that it was a 3-0 win for England over the 2-0 win. And yeah, I think France probably could have won by more in the end, but they were saving their legs for their quarter-final as well. So it's a match day score of 4 for the second day running, which now brings our tournament score up to 34. So, as always, let me know down in the comments how you got on, and let's get into today's games. And we start with Japan against Croatia. Probably the toughest one to call, because I think a fair few people are probably predicting Croatia to be the favourites for this, despite them finishing runners-up in their group and Japan winning the group that had Germany and Spain in it. So, Japan are going to be no pushovers. And I think this is going to be a really interesting game. There is so much effort and energy in the Japan team. Whether or not they can keep it up for yet another game remains to be seen. And then you have Croatia, who have been very inconsistent. They've shown their quality when they've needed to, but they've also shown resilience, like in the game against Belgium. So I don't really know which way to throw this one. So I'm not going to. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. That is my 90-minute prediction. And then from that point onwards, I think that's where the overall quality of Croatia will start to show. They are a team that have proven on multiple occasions over the last few tournaments that they are willing to go deep into extra time and into penalties when required. So with that little bit of extra history in the later stages of tournaments and going into extra time and penalties, I'm going to give it to Croatia in extra time. So that is where I will score my extra point if I'm able to get that one correct. Don't think I need to say much else about it. I really want to just see a good game in this one. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think both teams are going to be going for the win rather than like sitting back and counter-attacking. So we could be in for a very entertaining game in that one. Secondly, we have Brazil and South Korea. Now, I'm sure a lot of you watching are probably thinking, 4-0 Brazil, 5-0 Brazil. I'm not so sure. I look at the injury list that Brazil have got. I look at the quality of the performances I've seen from Brazil so far, and I'm not convinced they're going to blow South Korea away. I will say it up front, I'm still going to go for a Brazil win. I'll even put the score on the screen. I'm going to go for 2-1. And this is why. I think, again, the Koreans showed so much spirit against Portugal. They were fully deserved of the win that they got, but it was a much weaker Portugal side. And they didn't win their other 2 games. So I can't just sit here and say, Brazil have got a couple of injuries, South Korea are actually going to win this game. I still think Brazil win the game. I just don't think it will be as easy as other people are making it out to be. It may still be. I'm not going to be surprised if Brazil win 4 or 5-0. But I just think something could happen in this game. And I think due to the injuries, due to the fact that you could have a potentially Heung-min Son running at a 39-year-old Dani Alves as their only fit fullback, has got to be a major concern for Brazilian fans, despite how good they've got going the other way. And like we said, South Korea, they dig in. They're not going to give up goals easily, despite the quality that Brazil have. And I think they could really make a game for it. And who knows, maybe even nick the result. But I'm not brave enough to predict that. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Brazil. But best of luck to South Korea, because it would be a great story if they were able to turn over the Brazilians. But I don't personally see it happening tomorrow night. And that is going to be it. Let me know in the comments, as always, what you think of my predictions and what you think is going to happen as well. Drop a like on the video if you are enjoying this series. Subscribe if you are new around here. We are still keeping this up every single day throughout the World Cup tournament. And I will see you again tomorrow morning for the last day of the last 16. Thank you very much for watching.